I'm Kara, the designer behind Never Skip Brunch, and today I'm bringing you a tic-tac-toe game you can take to go. I empower everyday women to dive into DIY and design homes they're legitimately in love with. That usually looks like home design and DIY decor projects over on neverskipbrunch.com, but it also means I'm raising a tiny DIYer who wants in on the action.
Hi, I'm Ella, and I want to DIY big.
So we usually love to DIY via the in-store workshops at the Home Depot.
But today, we're bringing a project to you.
We're seriously so excited to be partnering with the Home Depot to bring you a kids workshop project that you can make at home. Today we're going to show you how to make a custom tic-tac-toe board that's perfect to take on the go for road trips
Or hanging out at the park.
Let's chat about what we'll need and then we'll get making. So first, you need a miter box and saw,
Some craft sticks.
a board that's 3.5 inches wide,
Some paint.
some brushes, some wood glue, some Velcro, and the free print-at-home template you can find linked in the description below. I also snagged some paint markers to make it easier for Ella to create her game pieces and some additional wood in different sizes to make a larger version of the game.
Let's get making.
Okay, baby.
Let's go. Let's go get making.
Step 1 is to cut the pieces for your game. You'll need 1 large square as the game board and then 10 smaller squares for the pieces. I measured and drew a line so I'd know where to cut. For the smaller board, it will be 3.5 inches from the end. I used a miter box to make the cuts. Just be sure to hold your piece securely and keep your fingers away from the saw as you cut. You can use a sanding block to clean up any rough edges from the cuts. Okay, first we gotta make some cuts.
Okay.
Let's put this like this. Okay, now mommy's gonna help you. Now we wanna pull this saw back and forth and back and forth. If you're guiding a little one, put a finger on top of the saw to help hold it down in the groove. Okay, let's see what
We got 10 pieces. Let's save these for later.
9 of the pieces should fit on the board in 3 rows of 3 with 1 left over. Next, cut out the X's and O's from the template. You can draw freehand on your pieces, but these make it a little bit easier for little ones to trace and also help you create consistent pieces. We're going to cut out the small area. So can you cut out the X's and O's with your scissors?
Okay.
The template includes both a large and small template for both sets of wood. The small template fits on paint sticks and the large fits on 1x2 boards. Next, glue the paper template onto the wooden pieces with wood glue. I used a foam dabber to smooth it out, placing a layer of glue under the paper, centering the paper and sticking it down to the piece, and then dabbing a little bit on top to make sure it's secure.
Time for these. And time for these.
We're going to take one piece at a time. Mommy give you some glue. And can you spread it out with your sponge? These foam dabbers also make it so much easier for little ones to get the glue on in an even layer. Once they're all glued up, set them aside to dry. While those are drying, you can go ahead and start decorating your game board. You can do this however you like in all kinds of colors, but I chose to start with a plain white base using latex paint and a paintbrush. Here you go.
Thanks.
Ella decided to give hers a white base as well so she could draw on it with some paint markers.
Did it look beautiful?
Yeah, what does it need to do now?
Try.
Next, it's time to paint the pieces. The first option is to use acrylic paint and a paintbrush.
Time to paint my pieces.
The second option is to use these really cool paint pens. They help little hands paint the tiny pieces with less mess.
It's all done. There.
I love it. Set them aside to dry. Once everything's dry, it's time to finish decorating the game board, add some tic-tac-toe lines, and secure the pieces with Velcro. This will make our game road trip friendly. To draw the lines, you can use a straight edge or just freehand it. I ended up using a paint pen, but you could probably also use a Sharpie. After I helped Ella draw the game lines on her board, she wanted to decorate them with more paint pens with X's and stars so she'd remember where the pieces go. I grabbed some Velcro with sticky backs so we could put one side on the game pieces and another side on the game board. I cut the larger strip down into 5 smaller squares that fit my game pieces. I stuck the rough or hook sides of the Velcro onto the back of each piece. You want to make sure to use the same side of the Velcro so all the pieces work with the board. Also, Ella finds Velcro hilarious. Okay, now you need to just take off this one side, and can you stick it on the bottom of one of the pieces, right in the middle? Once one side of the Velcro is on your pieces, you can stick the other side down onto the game board. I used my lines as a guide and just stuck each piece in the center of each smaller square. This is what it looks like up close. Just stick it down and press firmly to make sure it's secure. After we finished our mini boards, we decided to make a larger version using 1x2s for the pieces and a 1x6 board for the game board. I'm gonna do polka dots.
And I'm gonna do Papa and pink. I love the whole thing pink.
Ella decided to skip the X's and O's and do half of her pieces pink and the other half purple.
Want to kiss?
I added polka dots to my board with a paint pen, and I don't know why I've never cut up blocks of wood and let her color on them before, because she was so entertained with this.
Come on, Dad. What do you think?
If you liked this project, be sure to subscribe for more. We'll be back with another kids DIY project next month, but in the meantime, you can find me over on Instagram at @NeverSkipBrunch. Do you want to play?
Yeah. So I want to be X's. I pick here.
Oh, I choose the middle.
And I choose here. Ha ha ha! I won!